We're back on Let's Have It Out, and let's take a call. We have Thomas who's calling from Kempton Park on the line. Hi, Thomas. What's your question?
Yes, ma'am. How are you? Ma'am, I'm concerned about us, whereby we concentrate more on kids to have more love on gadgets than to have love on the books. Because actually we were supposed to encourage the kids to have books than to have smartphones and all those fancy toys. Because we are supposed to encourage kids, especially from the foundation phase upwards till high school and to also in the tertiary level, to encourage them to at least just make a means of only once a month have a novel, read it, make it sure that you have something to read every month, you know.
Thank you so much.
Something like that.
Thank you so much, Thomas in Kempton Park. And Thomas is really talking about, I suppose, parenting essentially, and how important that is in making sure that this culture of reading takes place. We now value smartphones, as he's saying, and, you know, introducing all these gadgets. And those are somewhat of a barrier in terms of encouraging children to appreciate the beauty of reading.
Yeah, and how does that impact on the child's ability to communicate in terms of interpersonal communication? You know, if you're going to raise a child on the phone the whole time, you know, from the age of maybe 6 up to 16, and then they go into an interview with someone who actually knows interpersonal communication, who knows how to build relations with other people, they're not going to get the job. And on top of that, in the private sector, you know, I will say as an entrepreneur, it has been a situation where a lot of people, they're not just taking you on for your pretty face. They're taking you on because they want the insights that you have. Yeah. They're actually buying the information that you have, the knowledge that you have. And knowledge is a commodity to a certain extent when it comes to your career, because they want you to bring insights to the fore to help them to become more innovative and competitive. Right. And so that is why it's important, you know, for your child to have that culture of learning, to have that culture of reading, and an insatiable appetite for knowledge.
Absolutely. And let's go to Beatrice now in Welkom. Hi, Beatrice. What's your question or comment?
Good evening, ma'am. I have a comment. I was just saying, you know, it really is so crucial to have books in schools. And I currently run 2 NPOs. One specifically targeted, focused on giving books to underprivileged schools. Now, what I also wanted to point out, you know, I understand it's very difficult for governments. And then you have us NPOs who are trying to make sure that there are books in schools. But what I find really difficult is when I go to a school and the people that I'm put in contact with to try and make the situation happen, that we build the libraries at school, or we at least have a room allocated for a library to be there at a school, they're really complacent. It's almost like teachers have come to a point where they're like, okay, it's okay, we don't have it. We don't have to introduce it as well. They're not really open to it, especially in the area where I am. I'm really struggling. I am trying so hard. I have 3 daughters, all of them in the foundation phase, and I have seen the difference that reading makes, having access to books, and I have also seen that we really have a problem with access to books in underprivileged schools, and I know the difference that they can make.
Yeah.
And
thank you so much for the call, Beatrice. And Beatrice is talking about attitudes also being a barrier, with all her good intentions, trying to introduce schools into the schooling system, being blocked because I suppose even the teachers themselves don't fully appreciate the need for this.
I actually understand that. I remember a while ago we donated a children's book to a certain school in my small town, and there is a library for the kids. But then when I actually asked if the library is actually used at all, only to find it's always locked. And in understanding that, the principal was like, no, we can't give the kids the books to take home because then they don't bring them back. Yeah. But then we have that bad attitude, which means that now we are blocking these kids from accessing the books that they already are given, only for the reason that they're not going to bring them back, which means in the whole perioding of the school in a day, there's no period just for reading.
Yeah. And that's where we're going to have to leave it. Thank you so much to our guests, Tebogo, Ditshego, as well as Zanele, Dlamini. And that's Let's Have It Out. And remember to keep the conversation on social media going with the hashtag LHIO. And tomorrow night, Oliver Dixon will be in this chair, and you don't want to miss that conversation. I'm Aphelele Somi. Good night.